The United States Armed Forces have intensified military operations in the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean, expanding an offensive that the U.S. government says is aimed at combating international drug trafficking. This week, one such operation resulted in the death of one person following an attack on a vessel suspected of involvement in drug trafficking in international waters of the Pacific. The latest strike comes just days after a similar operation. Last week, U.S. forces targeted 2 vessels in the eastern Pacific, also alleged to be linked to drug trafficking, killing 5 people. These actions are part of a broader campaign known as Operation Southern Sphere, carried out under President Donald Trump's administration. According to an official statement, on December 22, under the direction of Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Joint Task Force Southern Sphere conducted what was described as a lethal kinetic strike against a low-profile vessel. U.S. authorities stated that intelligence information confirmed the boat was in transit in international waters and was operated by organizations designated by the United States as terrorist groups. Since the beginning of Operation Southern Sphere, at least 105 people have been killed in attacks on vessels suspected of drug trafficking, according to figures released by the U.S. government. Washington argues that these operations are essential to dismantle maritime routes used by criminal organizations to transport large quantities of drugs, primarily destined for the American market. To sustain this offensive, the United States has deployed a significant military presence to the region. Surveillance aircraft, military vehicles, thousands of troops, and even an aircraft carrier strike group have been sent to the Caribbean and strategic areas of the Pacific. The U.S. government maintains that the expanded military presence is necessary to secure maritime routes and strengthen regional security. The operations include interdictions, boardings, and direct attacks on vessels deemed suspicious in both the Caribbean and the Pacific. However, the escalation of these actions has raised concerns about their legal boundaries. International law experts and security analysts warn of potential violations of international norms, particularly when lethal strikes are carried out in international waters without judicial processes or full transparency regarding the evidence linking the vessels to drug trafficking. In addition to the maritime operations, the United States has also increased political and diplomatic pressure on the regime of Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela's president. The White House accuses Maduro of having ties to drug trafficking and to the so-called Cartel of Los Soles, a criminal organization that U.S. officials claim involves high-ranking members of the Venezuelan government. Sources close to the Trump administration say the U.S. government is already working on scenarios for the day after a potential removal of Maduro from power. These plans reportedly involve political reorganization and regional security measures, although no official decision has been made regarding a direct military attack on Venezuela. Meanwhile, Operation Southern Sphere remains ongoing, establishing itself as one of the most aggressive U.S. military campaigns against drug trafficking in international waters in recent years. The consequences of these actions, both for drug enforcement efforts and for political and diplomatic stability in the region, continue to be closely monitored by the international community. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and share this content to support our work.